If your deadlift weak point is at the bottom, you're probably going to know it. It's going to be right off the floor. Either you get to a near maximal attempt and you just can't break the bar off the floor, or you can barely get it moving and can't pull it any further. It's going to be pretty obvious. The 3 technical cues I can suggest if you're missing the bar off the bottom is first, tight lats, meaning rotating the shoulders like this, anti-shrugging, and that is going to allow you to keep the bar closer to you. If your lats are engaged and your lats are tight, that bar will stay closer to you and have less tendency to drift, and you're going to be in a better starting position to break the bar from the floor. The second cue, if you're missing off the bottom, is making sure you're pulling great tension into that bar. Probably if you're pulling maximal tension, creating that maximal lifter's wedge in a perfect starting position, you're probably going to at least be able to get the bar moving off the floor and a good way up. So if you're still missing it off the floor, really creating that tension and understanding to create the tension in the bar before you go to lift is going to help you be stronger off of the floor. Lastly, if you're missing the bar off the floor, make sure you're bracing properly. If you're not bracing properly and you go to initiate the bar, you may not have the appropriate structure, strength, and support in your back. And your back may be the weak link, and it's going to do this when you try and lift the bar off the floor. So by bracing correctly, the back will be strong, solid, and rigid, ready to drive the bar up. I have 3 best movements I can suggest for you if you're missing the bar off the floor. This applies to whether you're doing sumo or conventional. The number 1 would be a deficit deadlift. A deficit deadlift, you're going to be standing on something 2 to 4 inches off of the ground. The bar is going to be a few inches lower than it normally would be, where it is if you're pulling from the ground. This is going to put you in a compromised start position, and it's going to be difficult for you to get that bar going off the floor. It's going to strengthen that extended further range of motion that your body normally doesn't see. If it strengthens that range of motion below your sticking point, it will also strengthen your sticking point. A second good exercise is related to that, but it is a deadlift from a deficit with a pause. So you'll set up like you do for the deficit deadlift, but you're going to pause that bar when it's at the normal floor position. So again, this is going to put you in a compromised start position, going to strengthen your extended range of motion, which will also strengthen your normal range of motion. And by throwing the pause in at the floor height, you're going to force your body to find the strongest position it can. It's going to create that muscle memory on how to be tight there, and it's going to improve your deadlift from the floor. When thinking about the muscles on why you may be missing a deadlift from the floor, one of the first ones to look at is your quads. So at the start of a deadlift, your leg is going to be in the most flexed position that it's going to be for the entire range of motion. The more flexed your leg is, the more involved your quads are going to be. So if you lack the quad strength to get the bar moving, you might think about the quads. The second muscle group to think about would be your low back. This isn't something that you want to train going through flexion, but it's something you want to train with rigidity. So strengthening your low back is going to be things like a glute ham raise or hypers on a GHR machine. And lastly, if you're looking for muscles to improve your bottom position in the squat, it would be lats. Lats are going to be a static mover here. They're not going to be going through an active range of motion, but statically holding that bar in close to you.